Hey everybody, Mr. Andrews here. First off, want to apologize for not being able to go live earlier this afternoon. Uh, Tried to put the twins down and they did not want to nap, so they were fussing and crying and kind of going crazy and losing their minds. So another time I had to kind of call it a day and look after them instead of going live. But like I said, I wanted to try to get a video uploaded later the same day. So you guys will probably be seeing this Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon whenever you view it. This time was dedicated for the 8th grade social studies, and plan was to really go over the new assignment that was posted on Google Classroom. The article from Junior Scholastic that looks at the census and the 10 question short quiz that follows. And that's really the only other assignment that is in this first round of our break. Um, so, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and kind of do a quick walkthrough to how to get to the work. I'll read the article for you guys if that's something you might need. I know some of us like to hear it, whether we use the read aloud or just reading with a partner. Um, so I have my Google Classroom open here. This is Cosmic, just kind of my default one since they are the homeroom that I have. Again, my Google Classroom looks just a little bit different than what you guys see. That's because of the teacher version that I have. But for you guys, it should be the top post that you see there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Again, mine looks just slightly different. So, the instructions are listed right here. Okay. So I'm going to have you guys click on the article while everybody's talking about the census. And I'm going to have you guys sign up with Google Classroom. Sometimes it may ask you for a class password. We don't have one at the moment, so Google Classroom should be the way that you can access this article. It might sign me in automatically. We'll see. Looks like it's giving me the sign in page just like it would for you guys. So I'm just going to click log in if the computer wants to cooperate. Okay, I'm a teacher. You guys would say I'm a student, obviously, and then scroll so where you can see sign in with Google Classroom. So that's what I'm going to do as well, but mine just looks a little bit different because of the teacher account. Okay. I know it seems kind of annoying to jump through all these hoops just to get the article, but as that's loading, again, there is a PDF of the article if you guys would rather read it from there. It's taking forever to load, it seems like. I'm sorry this is taking so long to load. Normally, it does not take this much time. It looks like it's trying. I don't know why it's taking forever. I know this is really great content here, guys. I apologize. Not the most visually exciting thing. So we're going to exit out of this, see if just try loading up will work. But hopefully you guys won't have this issue when you take a look at this assignment. I know we've had a couple 6th graders already submit their response for this, so that's pretty cool to see. So again, today's stream was meant for 8th grade, but both 6th and 7th graders were more than welcome to join. Everybody's kind of getting the same stuff right now, just to make things a little bit easier. All right, second attempt at this. Let's see if it works. So again, once this loads up, and hopefully it does, I'll do a quick read through of this. As I mentioned in another video, the article's not too long. I don't think there's a short introduction, then it's split up into 3 different parts. But I really like this article because it connects very well to the packet work where we're having you guys take a look at and examine the 3 different branches of government and some of the roles and responsibilities that the government has to do, and one of those things is to take a census. In other words, to count the people in the country um, every 10 years. And 2020 in April, that's the time that we have, or the government has to do this, while everything else is currently going on in the world. So, like I said, I'll go ahead and do a quick read through of this article for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and examine and look at the 10 questions that's attached on your um, Google Classroom, okay, right over there. So, all right, so why everyone's talking about the census? The government is preparing to take its once a decade count of every person in the United States. Here's what you should know. This article comes from about a week ago. It's from when this latest issue of Junior Scholastic was released. So I'm going to start here at the introduction. The United States is counting on Americans to count themselves. April 1st marks the official start of the 2020 U.S. Census, a nationwide tally of every person living in the country. The federal government conducts a census every 10 years, something that's required by the Constitution. As part of this national headcount, U.S. residents answer a short questionnaire about themselves and their households. Their collective responses provide the government with important data about the country's population. About the country's population. The results help determine everything from how to distribute tax dollars to where to build new schools and public parks. By law, the United States Census Bureau uses data collected from the census for statistical purposes only. It keeps people's individual responses private. So, how is the census conducted? What kinds of questions are in it? And how will the information the government gathers affect your life? Here's what you need to know. Okay, number 1, who gets counted in a census and how? The census aims to tally every person living in the country, including citizens, non-citizens who are here legally, and undocumented immigrants. Deployed military members, people in prison, and homeless people are also counted. So earlier this year, the Census Bureau mailed a notice to every known household in the nation detailing how to participate. Most people are encouraged to respond to the questions by mail, by phone, or, new this year, via the internet. To ensure that every person is counted, the Bureau plans to hire about 500,000 workers to go door to door starting next month to collect answers from people who haven't responded. And a cool thing about the articles, as you guys remember, is that the pictures and charts and things like that, you can click on them. So if you can't make out something that you see in them, you can make them bigger, and they're just more interactive. All right, section 2. What questions are included? The census asks respondents about their age, sex, race, and more. Everyone in each household must answer the questions, or someone else, such as a parent or spouse, must answer for them. Respondents will not be asked whether they are U.S. citizens. President Donald Trump's administration tried to have that question added, but the Supreme Court blocked it, saying it could discourage participation among undocumented immigrants who may fear deportation. And so this is an example of our checks and balances, and that, again, that's something we will get into after spring break for you guys. So we're having you guys take a look at the 3 different branches of the government, their roles and responsibilities, but we haven't really gone into a whole lot of how these 3 different branches kind of make sure that not one branch gets too powerful. Okay, so some of the new things that are highlighted in this new census, they alluded to how people can answer on the internet for the first time. It's going to count same-sex couples, married and unmarried, and surveys now offered in 13 total languages, including Arabic. And number 3, why does the census matter? Census data helps the government determine how to distribute about $675 billion a year in federal funds. That money is used for everything from repairing highways to building schools. Businesses also use this data. For example, a clothing company might analyze census statistics to decide where to open new stores. Census results also determine how many seats each state gets in the U.S. House of Representatives. Again, that's one of the parts of Congress, or the legislative branch. House seats are based on each state's share of the nation's population. Because the total number of House seats, 435, doesn't change, some states may gain or lose seats after each census. That, in turn, affects the presidential elections as each state is allotted votes in the Electoral College based on the number of seats it has in Congress. The 2020 census won't affect November's presidential election because officials won't begin releasing data until December. Okay, and that's the article. So again, like I said, it wasn't too difficult. If for any reason that you guys had difficulty getting into Scholastic's website to take a look at this article, remember there is a PDF of it posted here on your assignment as well, back on Google Classroom, and it's um, the same article for the most part. Maybe a few words are changed, but it is the same article broken into those 3 sections. And after you finish those sections, again, going back to the instructions here, you're going to open the Google Forms assignment, know the news, why everybody's talking about the census. Okay, so as this loads, it's just going to be 10 short questions. What you guys will see on your version of this is at the very top, it should ask you for an email address. Okay? And the email address that you need to put is just the one that you would enter at school if we were still in school, or when you sign into the Chromebook. So first name dot last name, the number, then at sa-students.org. If you don't type in your email address, I can't see the scores. So we need to make sure that you please sign in with your school email address. And then there's 10 multiple choice questions. Nothing that you guys need to write. I would strongly recommend that you guys keep the article up on another tab, or if you have the PDF, just keep that open so you can refer back to the questions, refer back to the text to help you answer the questions. Again, if you read the article and if you have it open, I don't think these questions are overly difficult. It's something you guys should be able to handle. 10 of them, again, all multiple choice and nothing that you guys need to type out, no short answer or extended response, anything like that. So just make sure you're looking at these questions carefully. I'm not going to obviously answer the questions for you, but I can go ahead and read them quickly and kind of just go over them. Number 1, and what is the central idea of this article? Officials will begin releasing data from the 2020 Census Bureau in December. This year's census is offered in 13 languages. The U.S. Census Bureau plans to hire about 500,000 workers per year. Or census responses give the government important data about the U.S. population. So again, looking at the core idea of the article, is it looking at these specific examples, or are we looking at something that's more kind of a central idea, okay? Kind of the big picture? Number 2, which statement about the census is true? Again, if you go through these options here, you can just go back to the article, see which one matches up and which one doesn't, and then just use process of elimination for that question. Number 3, when does the 2020 census officially begin? March 23rd, April 1st, November 3rd, or December 1st? Again, go back to the article to see which one of those dates matches up. Number 4, the blank requires the federal government to conduct a census every 10 years. Will that be the Constitution, the Electoral College, House of Representatives, or the President? Again, all these responses or all these answers should be found in the text. That's why I strongly recommend just keeping it open in a tab. Okay. Number 5, census data helps the government determine how to distribute about how much in federal funds a year. Okay, so they're going to throw out some big dollar amounts here. So just make sure you're looking at these numbers carefully because a lot of them are very close. They all deal with the billions. So just make sure you're looking at them very closely. Number 6, according to the article, the census aims to count all the following people except people in prison, homeless people, immigrants who live in the United States, or travelers visiting the United States from other countries. Again, in the article, it listed the examples of who is going to be counted in there, so just make sure you go back and double check. Number 7, which of these statements is an opinion? So again, this one is probably going to be one of the more tricky questions that you're going to be asked, but just sure you're taking your time. You're not trying to get through it quickly, and you just go back to the text to double check, see what makes sense and see what matches up. Number 8, the photo at the bottom of page 11 best supports which detail from the article. Okay. And this one might be a little bit tricky, just because, again, if you're looking at it like this on Scholastic website, you don't see the page number, but if you go to Open Magazine View, And then this should kind of help you determine what picture they are referring to. It's going to may take an extra second to load, and apologies if I start yawning or rub my eyes. It's pretty late. It's almost midnight here, but hey, the kids are asleep. So I finally have some time to get some of the work done for you guys. So yeah, so it's asking about the picture at the bottom, and it looks like page 11 is right here. You can zoom in on this a little bit if you need to. So let's see. Yep, it looks like this is page 11 right there, okay, right by the cursor, and they're asking about the picture at the bottom. It says the photo at the bottom, page 11, best supports which detail from the article. And you can just go through these responses one by one and use the process of elimination. Okay. Again, read the captions. The captions might help you here a little bit. This picture is one taken from the 2010 census, so a decade ago when the last census was done. Okay. All right, so we should just have a couple more questions. According to the article, the Supreme Court, okay, they do provide an example of what the Supreme Court did in this most kind of recent case of the census. So we'll go back in the article and check that. And last one here, which detail would be least important to include in the summary of the article? Again, the wording here is very critical, so make sure you're reading this carefully. Which detail would be least important? Not most important, but least. So just go through the options here. Again, try to think of which of these details could you leave out and the article still makes sense. So after you have answered all 10 questions, just click submit, but please make sure if you haven't, at the very top, it's going to ask you for your email address. So again, that's just the one that you would sign in like you would at school. So again, if you don't type that in, I can't see your results. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. Again, just make sure we're keeping up. I try to post as much as I can on Hangouts, so I give a little reminder or a quick heads up about 15 to 10 minutes before I go live on my days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Anything else, I try to make a video for. So I did a quick walkthrough of the video or a quick walkthrough of the assignment earlier this week. So check that out if you haven't already. I'm going to try to get this uploaded hopefully by Thursday morning for 8th grade, but also 8th graders, if you were planning on watching today and didn't because I obviously didn't stream, you're more than welcome to catch the stream tomorrow or Friday. And then we have spring break. So, and also, if you guys haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to Summit Academy Middle School's channel and click the little notification bell so you guys get notified. I know there have been some issues where students haven't got a notification or they didn't get an alert on their phone when new videos were posted. So please make sure you try to subscribe and just stay in contact the best way you can and let your friends know that, hey, we still have to get some work done during this time. I know things are going kind of crazy, it seems like, in the world right now, but let's try to get the work that was given out to us done, or let's do it the best of our abilities. But that's pretty much gonna be it from me, guys. Like I said, I'll have this up Thursday morning for those that missed it on Wednesday. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.